So today's topic is pharmacokinetics. Pharmacokinetics is the study of what body is doing with the drug. Effect of body on the drug. If we administer a drug, some medicine in the body, what the body causes to the drug, effect of body on the drug, and effect of the drug on the body is nothing but the pharmacodynamics. Okay. Now what body does to the drug? It absorbs the drug, it distributes it, biotransformation takes place in liver and then eliminates through the kidney, the excretion of the drug. Now let's study it one by one. There are four processes in pharmacokinetics: A, D, M. A means absorption, D means distribution, M metabolism or biotransfusion, and E is elimination or excretion. Okay. In the absorption, its definition is movement of drug from its site of administration to the effector organ. Okay. Movement of drug from its site of administration. Now absorption. Let's study absorption. To study absorption, we have to study the basic chemistry, the mechanism of transport. So there are main three types of transport. Passive transport. Transport means, suppose this is the intestinal cell and this is our drug, or this is the food. It has to pass this membrane, this intestinal lining, to go into the bloodstream. Okay. So this process is absorption. This will take place with the help of transport. So these are the basic transport mechanisms. We have to study broadly. We have studied it in 11th and 12th standard or 10th standard. There is passive transport, carrier mediated transport, and endocytosis. Endocytosis means engulf the cell. It engulfs the cell. And there is opposite process. One more process is exocytosis. Means it first engulfs the cell and then releases the cell. This is endocytosis and exocytosis. Or in amoeba there is pinocytosis. It is also called as pinocytosis. It happens in amoeba also. In passive transport there are one more. That is passive diffusion and filtration. And in carrier mediated transport there is facilitated diffusion, facilitated transport, and active transport. Now what is passive? What do you mean by passive and active? Passive means it does not require energy. What is energy here? Now the basic question, currency of energy, the ATP. ATP does not require ATP. Passive diffusion does not require ATP. And filtration, I think you know this. This is the drug. Suppose this is higher concentration of drug and this is the lower concentration. It moves from higher concentration to lower concentration, okay, through the semi-permeable membrane. Exactly opposite in active transport. It requires energy, it requires ATP, and it moves from lower concentration, this is lower, to higher concentration. Okay. Then facilitated transport. This is something new. Suppose this is the membrane. This is the drug. My drug wants to go here from the here. It wants to go from intestinal lumen to the bloodstream. How it will go? Then there is a carrier for it. This carrier will bind with our drug and then go to the bloodstream and then release it. And this carrier again comes to its original site. This is known as facilitated transport. Okay. So there is nothing in this. It was basic understanding. And then next is factors affecting. Next is factors affecting absorption. Factors affecting absorption, there are mainly given in our book K.D. Tripathi. That is aqueous solubility. Aqueous solubility means in dissolved form. When we take drug and immediately drink water, na? So aqueous solubility increases the rate of absorption. Factors affecting the rate of absorption. Okay, it increases the rate of absorption. Aqueous solubility. Okay, more the aqueous solubility, more the drug is soluble, more will be the absorption. Less there is solubility or less dissolution in water, less will be the absorption. Next is concentration of drug. The more concentration, more will be the absorption. This is also directly proportional. Everything is directly proportional. Only one thing is inversely proportional, that is size of particle or size of particle of drug. More will be the size, less will be the absorption. It will be difficult to go from one lumen to blood stream. Na? So more will be the size, less will be the absorption. Less will be the size of particle of our drug, more will be the absorption. So it is inversely proportional to our drug. Okay, this is drug. It is inversely proportional to our drug. This is inverse sign, directly proportional wala sign. And these all are directly proportional and some more are there. But important, I have to concentrate on pH and ionization. There is area, route of administration. Area, route of administration. There are many routes of administration, right? And the presence of food is also inversely proportional. Size of particle and presence of food. But all are directly proportional. More will be the area, surface area, more will be the absorption. This is also directly proportional. And route of administration. There are many routes of administration. Oral route, parenteral route, injection, IV, subcutaneous, intradermal. Orally, there will never be 100% absorption. Why? Because it passes through the first pass metabolism. Means it first passes to the liver, intestine. Orally it is difficult to absorb and the rate is never 100%. But in parenteral route is injections, IV, intramuscular, intradermal, subcutaneous, etc. In this there is 100% absorption or 100% bioavailability. I will explain bioavailability. There is 100% absorption. Okay, why? Because it does not go through first pass metabolism. It directly inserted into systemic circulation. Okay. Then come to the bioavailability. This topic is the part of absorption only. Yeah, this is not a separate topic. It is into the absorption. We are seeing absorption. Next distribution they will come later. Bioavailability. The definition is fraction of drug which goes into the systemic circulation. Fraction of the dose of drug that reaches to the systemic circulation in unchanged form. Means when we administer the drug orally, it is for oral route, not systemic, because it absorbs 100%. There is 100% bioavailability in parenteral route. But in oral route, it passes through first pass metabolism. And suppose we have taken 100 mg drug. 100 mg drug. We have taken 100 mg tablet. But it absorbs and goes to the liver. If it is prodrug, then it goes to the portal circulation and then activates in the liver, passes in the first pass metabolism, or it will absorb directly from intestine to the systemic circulation. Suppose it will absorb 90% or 90 mg. Okay, absorption rate is 90%. Then this is the bioavailability of this drug. Okay, now how we calculate it? There is a curve. Curve like this. This is area under curve is equal to bioavailability. Okay, you're getting it, no? The graph is on the x-axis there is time. Okay, 1 second, 2 seconds, or let's take hour length. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. Then here is plasma concentration. Pc. Plasma concentration of the drug in the blood. Present of plasma concentration of drug in blood. Now we take the drug and we take the blood every hour. 1 hour, 6 hours, 7 hours. The experiments are done on animals, but to understand this, and we take the plasma concentration of blood and measure it. Then the graph is plotted like this. Okay. So this is the bioavailability, and we measure this area. You know the area of triangle. This is triangle, looking like triangle. Half into base into height. But I am not interested in mathematics. I am interested in this area under the curve. Whatever will be the value, it is the bioavailability. Okay, got it? Now this curve, this particular curve. Now tell me which is oral route and which is parenteral route. In the parenteral route, bioavailability is 100%. Na? So this is bioavailability for IV, the parenteral route, 100% bioavailability. But in oral route, the graph is plotted like this. So I hope you understand the concept of bioavailability. Let's move ahead. Next is pH and ionization. pH and ionization. Actually, it is factors of absorption that we are taking here. It's an important topic, pH and ionization. What is pH? Acidic or alkaline? Now we have, let's classify the drugs first. We have strong electrolytes and we have weak electrolytes. Strong electrolytes are independent of pH. Okay, they will absorb in acidic pH also and in basic pH also. And weak electrolytes, they are pH dependent. In this there are both acidic weak electrolytes and basic. In strong electrolytes there are also acidic and basic, but they are pH independent. They do not need any pH in the body for the absorption. Okay. This is the pH of drug. The acidic drugs. The acidic drug. Atropine, I think atropine is acidic and aspirin is basic. Acidic drugs absorb best in the acidic medium. Okay, right here. Absorption in acid to acid, base to base means alkaline medium. Basic drugs, alkaline drugs absorbs in alkaline medium. Where is acidic medium in our body? In the stomach, hydrochloric acid. And where is the basic medium, the alkaline medium in our body? In the small intestine, duodenum, pancreatic secretions are alkaline, right? So basic drugs will absorb in intestine more better. Okay, and acidic drug absorbs in acidic medium. Now, here is the confusing part. Excretion. Acidic drugs excrete when the urine is alkaline. When the urine is urine is alkaline, we can alkalinize or acidify the urine. If we add sodium bicarbonate in it, we will alkalinize the urine, and if we add ammonium chloride, the urine becomes acidic. So acidic drugs eliminates better in alkaline urine, and basic drugs or alkaline drugs excrete in the acidic medium. Okay, understand up to this. Absorption needs same pH and excretion needs opposite pH. Okay, let's confuse you more. There is ionization. This is my basic drug, this is acidic drug. These both are unionized form. Okay. These both, H means hydrogen and OH means hydroxyl ion. If we remove hydrogen ion, it will become ionized. These are ionized forms. These are ionized forms. This is my drug and this is my drug. Okay. This is my matter of concern. I am not interested in this. Okay. This is my drug and this is my drug. Okay. Here minus will be there. If this is minus and this is unionized form, this is ionized form. Our drug in unionized form and our drug in ionized form. Now remember the rule. Body loves unionized form. The unionized form gets absorbed and body hates the broken form. The ionized form. Body hates the broken form. Body hates the single form. It wants the unionized form, combined form. Okay, it absorbs in unionized form and it eliminates. Kidney excretes better the ionized form. Ionized form. Okay. So this will excrete better and this will absorb better. Okay. This is all the concept of absorption. Now we are starting with distribution. There is nothing in distribution. It means body distribute drug to the effector cell. Suppose I have migraine and I have taken a capsule or a drug. It will absorb into the systemic circulation and it will bind to the receptor. Receptor will recognize the drug and bind with it. But the receptor, the organ, suppose this is brain cell, it will go to brain cell, or I have liver disease, it will go to the liver, or it will go to the kidney cells. These organ cells, these particular organ cells are called as effector cell, on which the drug is going to produce its effect or response or its activity, action. Okay. There is some receptor on it, on the effector cell, and it will bind, our drug will bind to this receptor, go inside the organ, show its action, and again come outside, and then it will biotransform, that we will see later, biotransform and eliminate. So this is the basic distribution. Factors affecting distribution are lipid solubility, affinity to bind with plasma, affinity to bind with transporter or the presence of transporter, or the regional blood flow. What the blood flow of that part is having. This is artery and the blood is flowing towards it. How much blood is flowing? Blood flow is also matter because our drug is coming through the blood only, no? So this is the distribution. One more point, that volume of distribution is equal to the plasma concentration. And drug we have taken, drug administered something. Dose administered upon plasma concentration. Dose administered. Suppose we have administered dose of 100 mg and the plasma concentration is, let's say, 50 at that time. We have checked plasma concentration. Then the volume of distribution, the drug distributed in the body is 2 liters, right? Who says doctors are bad in mathematics? See, it's serious. We have maths, chemistry, etc. all that. Steps of distribution: plasma protein binding, tissue protein binding. First, this is blood stream. This is the effector organ. This is the effector cell. Plasma. This is plasma. This is our drug. It binds to the plasma protein. Okay, these are steps of distribution. Plasma protein binding. Then this is tissue protein binding. Plasma protein binding, tissue protein binding. Then again redistribution. It shows its action. Then again get redistributed into the bloodstream, into the systemic circulation. And then there are 2 special types of distribution: penetration into the brain and penetration into the placental membrane. Okay, in mothers, in pregnant women. Placental membrane. Only lipid soluble drugs can pass placental membrane, and only ionized drugs. You know, ionized form, I just explained you. Ionized form can pass the brain cell. For example, dopamine cannot penetrate the brain cells, so that we give the precursor of dopamine, that is levodopa. Let's come to the metabolism. Metabolism and excretion. Now, what happened? Drug get absorbed, drug get distributed, shows its action. Its action we will see in pharmacodynamics, the action of drug on the body, effect of drug on the body. But we have seen what body is doing with the drug, right? In pharmacokinetics. So, in metabolism, what happens? Now drug is absorbed, goes into the systemic circulation, goes into its effector cell, and it shows its action, again get redistributed into the systemic circulation. Now where it goes? It wants to eliminate it. His work is done, or drug's work is done, but he wants to eliminate now. He goes to the kidney and say, kidney, will you eliminate me? Kidney says, no, you are polar. You are non-polar. First get polar, then I will excrete you. Now what is polar and non-polar? Kidney only excretes water-soluble drugs. You can learn like that. Kidney only excretes water-soluble drugs. Okay. So water-soluble drugs are polar. So the drug is non-polar. First we have to convert into polar. Then who will do it? Who will convert our non-polar drug into the polar? So it is the job of liver. It is the job of liver. Okay. Liver will do it. Now how? Suppose this is liver. Drug comes to the liver. Drug is non-polar. Non-polar. Now see, whenever I say, there are confusing words in the textbooks. I am just clearing that. Non-polar, water soluble. Water soluble means lipid insoluble. Lipid insoluble. Water soluble is also hydrophilic. Non-polar. We are saying polar. Polar is water soluble, right? Polar is water soluble and lipid insoluble. Lipophobic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 are one and the same thing. Whenever you read polar means water soluble. Lipid insoluble means water soluble. Water soluble means hydrophilic or lipophobic. They are the same. And the opposite, non-polar. The non-polar, water insoluble, lipid soluble, lipophilic. Now lipophilic means lipid soluble. Phobic means it will repel. Right? That is lipid insoluble. Lipophilic and hydrophobic is one and the same. Okay. So now come to the liver. Our drug is non-polar. Means non-water soluble. Okay, water insoluble. We have converted into the polar. The liver will do it in 2 phases. First phase, phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is also called as functionalizing. Means our non-functional drug is converted into functional, means ready for the elimination. And part 2 is binding with the conjugate, means conjugation. Conjugation, binding with the conjugate. Functionalization, there are 2 methods, oxidation and reduction. By oxidation and reduction, we are converting the substrate. Now substrate means the drug, particle of the drug. Whenever I say drug or substrate, it's one and the same thing, okay? By reduction and oxidation, what is reduction? We eliminate the proton inside that chemical, right? Proton, we are removing oxygen or adding whatever it is, chemistry. Oxidation and reduction. After the oxidation and reduction, our substrate becomes the metabolite. Okay? And in phase 2, our metabolite is conjugate with it bind with the conjugate, and then it becomes polar, hydrophilic, water soluble. It is ready for elimination now. Now kidney will happily eliminate the drug. Okay. Functionalization. There are some names of these conjugates: glucuronic acid, glycine, sulfate, like that. Right? Na? Glucuronic acid, glycine, sulfate. These are the conjugate. Phase 1 is also known as non-synthetic and phase 2 is also known as synthetic. Phase 1 is non-synthetic or what we said functionalization, which is oxidation and reduction. Phase 2 is synthetic or conjugation. Okay, now how it will work? Suppose this is our substrate. This is the diagram from Tripartite. Okay? It will goes into phase 1, convert the substrate into metabolite. This is metabolite. It will go into phase 2. Phase 2, the substrate is already in the metabolite form and binds with the conjugate and then eliminates to the kidney. These are the nephrons collecting that and eliminates to it. And if our substrate passes through the phase 1, it is metabolite. It will kidney will also not accept this metabolite. It will also pass with the phase 2. The phase 2 conjugation, binding with the conjugate is necessary for the polarization to eliminate the drug. Okay. So after passing phase 1, it also passes through phase 2. And if the substrate is already in the form of metabolite, then it passes through the only phase 2 and the drug will eliminate. Okay. Now this is biotransformation or metabolism. We have seen biotransformation or metabolism. Main site of biotransformation is liver. Now elimination or excretion. Excretion or elimination. Okay. We have to see rate of elimination, clearance. These two terms are a little confusing. Rate of clearance, rate of elimination, clearance, and zero order kinetics, first order kinetics. Let's study it. Now the main site of elimination is kidney, we all know, but drug can also excrete through saliva, other secretions like sweat, like that. Okay. And the rate of elimination. What was the definition? The amount of drug eliminated per unit time. Okay. Suppose this is efferent arteriole, this is nephron and kidney, all that DCT, PCT or collecting duct and that. This is afferent arteriole, efferent arteriole, afferent arteriole. Okay. Here the plasma concentration of drug is 100 mg. And here it is less than 100 mg because some drug is excreted. Suppose it excretes 1 mg. It is excreting 1 mg per minute, okay, per unit time, according to our definition. The drug is eliminating 1 mg per minute. The amount of drug eliminates per unit time is what the rate of elimination. And what is clearance then? Clearance is the amount of drug eliminated from the body. Its formula is, now even if it eliminates 1 mg in the body out of 100 mg plasma concentration, there is also some amount of drug in the body, in the blood, right? So in the clearance, the formula is rate of elimination divided by plasma concentration. So here the rate of clearance will be 100. Okay. Now the zero order kinetics and first order kinetics. Let's take the same example. Plasma concentration is 100 mg. Drug is eliminating 1 mg. Okay. Then in first order kinetics, rate of elimination is directly proportional to plasma concentration, and in zero order kinetics, rate of elimination is constant. Okay. Suppose 1 mg drug is eliminated. First order kinetics, if the plasma concentration is 100, if we increase the plasma concentration, the rate of elimination will increase. If we decrease the plasma concentration, the rate of elimination will decrease. But in zero order kinetics, the rate of concentration is constant. even if the plasma concentration is 100, then rate of elimination is 1. If it is 50, then also it is 1. It is independent of plasma concentration. If we increases it to the 1000 plasma concentration, then rate of elimination is also 1. Okay, rate of elimination will be constant. Some drugs excreted through first order kinetics, some drugs excreted through zero order kinetics. This is all about pharmacokinetics.